Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another First Impressions video for the Rise and Fall expansion for Civilization 6. Today we will be taking a look at the civilization Georgia. So let's get going.
Tamar leads Georgia in Civilization 6, Rise and Fall. Remembered today for her diplomatic prowess, support of the arts, piety, and extension of the Georgian kingdom, it is no wonder Tamar is canonized as a saint. Georgia's unique ability is Strength in Unity. When changing eras into a Golden Age, you receive an additional bonus on top of your Golden Age bonus.
All right, so we get additional bonus on top of our Golden Age bonus, and I think it'll tell us here in a little bit more about what that actually means. I don't know much about the Golden Age stuff. I've seen only a handful of these particular screens right here. In fact, we can actually see some of the Golden Age bonuses that are some pretty cool bonuses here. 2 extra movement for all builders is pretty awesome, plus the ability to purchase them with faith. Purchase the builders and settlers, purchase all civilian units with faith, which includes obviously builders and settlers. They're also cheaper to purchase with both faith and gold. The extra bonus here that I believe she gets as well is this monumentality dedication bonus, which increases your era score for certain things, which makes it easier for you to roll into another potential Golden Age right after this one. You kind of really chain those Golden Ages together. So like in this case, you get an extra era score for each time you construct a new specialty district, which is, that's easy enough to do, I suppose. Getting 2 extra era score for each time you convert a city to your founded religion, and things like that. So you can kind of see some of the extra bonuses that we have here. I'm not going to go over all of these Golden Age bonuses, but they're definitely going to be pretty impactful to the game. And the fact that Tamar, Georgia, can actually get these more, what's the word I'm trying to say, more consistently, it's really going to make a huge impact on how she plays the game and how she does compared to other people. Plus, it's probably going to make her a lot safer on the loyalty side of things compared to other people. It's probably a lot less likely that you're going to see Georgia losing a city to another civilization, and possibly more likely she's going to start flipping some of those just because of the fact that she's able to roll these Golden Ages together a lot more readily than some of the other civilizations. So let's keep it going.
This makes it easier for Georgia to achieve and maintain Golden Ages throughout the game. Georgia's unique building is the Tsike, a replacement for the Renaissance walls. These are built at a lower production cost and provide faith.
All right, so I mean walls that are cheaper and provide faith. Maybe not the most amazing, special building or whatever you want to call it, but I mean the free faith, basically, from doing something that you might have already been doing anyway, or if you don't normally build walls in your cities. This gives you a reason to go ahead and build those walls and kind of help your defenses out a little bit. I mean, walls aren't mandatory in every city. I don't necessarily always build them in all my cities. You definitely try to build them maybe on some of the fringe cities on the outer edges. And then eventually, you're going to get some of the later technologies and civics, things like that. I forget which one it is that gives you the kind of automatic defensive boost in your cities. But obviously having walls allows you to shoot back and things like that. So it's good to have them. Making them cheaper is awesome. And then obviously getting the faith from them. You can't go wrong with that. So I suppose it's definitely a plus. Maybe not the most amazing special building that Civilization can have, but there's nothing wrong with this particular bonus. It's good.
Their unique unit is the Khevsureti. This melee unit gains a combat bonus on hill terrain and ignores all hill movement penalties.
All right, so we can look here at the Khevsureti. The fact that they get a combat bonus on hilly terrain, which it looks like here is a +7 combat bonus. Pretty good bonus, to be perfectly honest. Especially if you're attacking somebody else who's also in a hill, well, they're gonna have a little bit of a defensive boost. You're gonna be able to counteract that and probably then some with your extra bonus that you have as well. Plus the fact that they're gonna move quicker on hill. They're not gonna take the penalty of movement across hill. They can move. If you try to defend your units on hill so that units 2 tiles away from you, but you're sitting on a hill, you're thinking, okay, I'm safe. They can't get to me unless maybe they're cavalry or something like that. With these units, if you're facing off against Georgia, you are going to have to be worried about that type of mechanic because you're obviously not safe anymore. They're going to be able to move across those hills and go ahead and move into your tile and attack you. So very, very interesting. Let's go and take a look into the Civilization game and see kind of what they compare with. So they have a 40 base melee strength. Let's see what they compare with against some of the other swordsman replacements in the game. All right, so here we are in the game. I pulled up a game as Macedon, just because they happen to be one of the civilizations that does have a swordsman replacement. There's actually several that do have swordsman replacements, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Swordsman. So yeah, there's 4 currently that have swordsman replacements. We can just start at the top here. Obviously, Macedon's the Hypaspist. I can't say that word apparently. We got the Legion here. Legion has 40 melee strength as well, 2 movement points. They also have the build charges where they can build the forts as well. So I mean, they're actually fairly equivalent in like flat terrain to the Georgian units, but the Georgian units obviously get an improvement when they're trying to attack you in hills. So one-on-one, I'm going to put my money on the Georgian unit because they're going to be able to be more effective more often than the swordsman here. The Legion here. Let's go ahead and go back and look at the next one down. We got Congo here. They have their base strength is 35, but they do get plus 10 if they're defending against ranged attacks specifically. So, I mean, again, one-on-one, I'm going to put my money on the Georgian unit because that's not a ranged attack for one, and they're going to be able to attack these guys and probably take these guys out pretty quickly. Again, especially if they're on hills. So, Georgia's looking pretty good so far. We got the Hypaspist. How do you say that? They have 36 melee strength. They also get an extra strength when besieging districts. Okay, so, all right. Macedon's going to be able to take out your cities a little bit quicker maybe than the Georgian unit will. Although, presumably, if your city is on a hill, they get more combat versus that. I don't know if that was explicitly called out, but it seems to make sense. So again, one-on-one out in the world, I'm putting my money on the Georgian unit because they're already stronger, and then they're going to get plus 7 on top of that. And then if we go look at the Immortal. Now, this is a range unit, correct? Yes. 25 range, 30 melee. I don't know. This one's a toughie. More often than not, the Georgian unit's probably going to be better than this unit, especially since the fact that the Georgian unit's not going to be slowed down by hills. You put this guy on a hill to be able to shoot over at the Georgian unit, well, the Georgian unit's going to be able to turn around from 2 tiles away and still be able to attack you. Okay, so that's going to be awesome. You're going to be able to maybe take an initial shot against them, but they're going to be able to turn back around and attack you in return. So again, I'm kind of putting my money on the Georgian unit. Again, I'm assuming the Georgian unit is a swordsman. It looks like a swordsman. It's in the same category as all. I mean, it's kind of the same range, I suppose, with all these other units, you know, the 30 to 40 range. But they're really looking really, really strong compared to these guys. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm really liking that Georgian unit a lot better now that I compare it against some of these other guys probably around the same era. So let's go ahead and jump back over to the video now.
Tamar's unique ability is Glory of the World, Kingdom, and Faith.
All right, so Glory of the World, Kingdom, and Faith. You're going to get plus 100% Faith for 10 turns after declaring a Protectorate war. We've already seen a bonus like this a couple other times in some previous civilizations where they get a bonus after declaring war. So, you know, it's fine. You know, it's a good thing to have. 10 turns, as we discussed before, is enough time to do some pretty decent stuff with. Getting the Faith with that, to me, that means that she would play really, really strongly towards going with a theocracy to be able to buy some units for herself, you know, especially with getting her to double Faith during this time period, being able to turn that around and to be able to buy some military units. I mean, obviously, you can still buy the religious units, but, you know, why not couple that into some better units for your war that you're about to have? The one problem with this is that a Protectorate war is the one where you're actually defending a city-state that you've been allied with that has been declared war on. So it's possible that you actually never, ever get to declare this within an entire game. I mean, is it likely? Maybe not. There's a lot of civilizations that like to declare war on city-states, so okay, fine. But the chances of you actually being allied to the city-state that got declared war on, it's a little bit less in your control. It's something that you could very likely go through an entire game without actually being able to get the first part of this bonus, which is unfortunate. Unlike some of the bonuses with, say, like Mongolia, where you can control that a bit more. In this case, the other part of this, though, is good for you. Each envoy you send to a city-state of your majority religion counts as 2 envoys. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, being able to double up on every single envoy you send that city-state means you're going to be able to make those allied city-states a lot more frequently, which does play into making a higher chance for you to have these Protectorate wars pop up. Now, obviously, you do have to have them have their majority religion. Big key thing being here, you have to have a religion. So you get into a game with Georgia and you don't end up getting one of the religions, you're probably in a little bit of trouble. Thankfully, they've balanced out a little bit, so it's a little easier to get a religion even at the higher difficulty levels as a player character. But it's still something that's a little bit out of your control. So overall, could be very, very strong bonus, but it's just not going to be one that you can directly force all the time in every single game, which is unfortunate. We can also look here at the strength and unity, which we've already seen before. When making a dedication at the beginning of a golden age, receive its normal age bonus towards improving era score in addition to its golden age bonus. Okay, so that's pretty cool. It's again going to help you roll into those golden ages more and more. So let's go ahead and keep going.
After declaring a protectorate war, she gains faith during the beginning turns of the war. Also, she gets extra free envoys when sending envoys to city-states of her majority religion. Nestle your cities into hilly terrain to fully take advantage of the Khevsureti's bonuses. And build your walls high for an impenetrable defense. Tamar is a fierce but pious warrior queen with a versatile style that could lend itself to any victory type. Will your walls outlast your enemies? How will you lead Georgia in Sid Meier's Civilization 6, Rise and Fall?
Okay, so Georgia is going to be a fairly interesting civilization to play as for sure, but they're not necessarily strong in any one particular area like some of the other civilizations. The one thing they do have really going for them is that they probably make the best use of the Golden Ages that we've seen so far. I mean, there's a couple others that kind of tie into it, but I mean, these Georgia was made for the Golden Ages and vice versa. The Golden Ages were made for Georgia, so far as we can tell. So they're really going to be able to make a huge strength out of that and really roll that very, very well into their strategy. But other than that, they don't have a lot of other things that really point to one specific, game plan. The Swordsman Replacement that they have is going to be very, very incredible early on and maybe set you up for, a good mid to late game. But once you get past their usage, there's nothing else coming Georgia's way. The Protectorate War thing, the extra faith that you get from that is amazingly good if you can get it to trigger. But again, it's out of your control, and it's not something that you can force yourself. You're going to have to hope that somebody declares war on one of your allied city-states for you to be able to have that at all. And again, it's very possible that it just never happens. If you're playing in a multiplayer game, I mean, if I'm playing against Georgia, I'm just never going to go to war against any of her allied city-states because why would I want to give her that bonus? So I'm a little worried about how that's going to play in a lot of ways. But, I mean, the second part of that, being able to get double envoys for people that are following your religion, that's pretty cool. And that does help you get more and more of those allies. So, okay, that's going to be kind of a nice little addition. The walls and the extra faith from those, it's a very, very much nice to have. And it's something that's very easy to get, but not necessarily like, ooh, wow, look at me type of thing, like some of the other bonuses that we've seen for some of the other civilizations. So really, it just all comes back down to those Golden Ages. And the Golden Ages is where you're going to be able to, I guess, sort of go after any victory that you want. Because presumably, and I haven't seen a list of what the Golden Age bonuses are, but I assume there's Golden Age bonuses that help, all the different strategies. You want to go for religion, you're going to have a Golden Age for that. You want to go for, building tall or wide or whatever, you're going to have a Golden Age bonus for that. If you want to get something that's more science focused, I'm sure there's going to be a Golden Age focus for that, or military, things like that. So the Golden Ages really are going to be where you make or break it with Georgia. The other things are just kind of there to supplement a little bit, but, not necessarily the point. The point is Golden Ages with Georgia. Now, obviously, with the Golden Ages, you are going to be getting so much loyalty output that maybe you can start taking some cities, through that loyalty mechanic and things like that instead of the conquest itself, which is kind of a cool, thing and a feature. We'll see how that works and plays into the thing. But overall, it's kind of hard to judge Georgia. I'll be perfectly honest. Until I really, truly get into a game and I'm able to experience how incredible those Golden Ages are, which I assume they are going to be great, but I could be wrong. But until I get into a game and really feel how good those are, I don't know how good it is to chain several of those together. Or maybe, you get two, several in a row and then maybe you skip one, but then you get several in a row again. So you're maybe not chaining Golden Ages throughout the entire game, but you're going to get a lot more Golden Ages than anybody else. What does that look like? How does that feel? How's that going to affect your overall strategy? It's going to be kind of hard to say until we see some of the Golden Age bonuses. Overall, though, like I said, it's kind of hard to judge Georgia, but again, those swordsman units are incredible. So that during that phase of play, go for conquest, blow up as many people as you can, and then set yourself up for the rest of the game. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you've seen some of the Golden Age bonuses on some of the other videos that I haven't been able to catch. Let me know what some of those bonuses are and see how they might play into Georgia's strategy, and kind of keep some of that discussion going. Thank you again for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like. If not, let me know what I can do different and better. Thank you and goodbye.